Good afternoon and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Marine City High School class of 2022. My name is Sherry Becker and I am the principal of Marine City High School. We would like to begin our ceremony today with a moment of silence in remembrance of friends and family members who could not be with us today, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We invite you to stand at this time. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty microphones at this time as we proceed with celebrating this group of students. I'd like to begin by welcoming our Superintendent of East China Schools, Mrs. Suzanne Saibula.
Thank you, Ms. Becker. Good afternoon, parents, friends, and relatives, and most importantly, the Marine City High School class of 2022. It is a privilege to congratulate all of you on this very important day. I also have the honor this afternoon of introducing the East China School District Board of Education members present today. We have Mrs. Pat Neva, our Board Vice President, Mr. Todd Disselrath, Board Secretary, Mrs. Karen Cedar, Board Treasurer, Mrs. Libby Prill, Board Trustees. Thank you, board members, for being here this afternoon. Congratulations, class of 2022. What a journey this year has been, and it is wonderful to be here with everyone today. Nobody could have imagined or predicted what we have been through these past few years, and I couldn't be more proud of this graduating class. The way each of you adapted, both as individuals and collectively as a class, is a model for us all to follow. Graduates, you will make plans and more plans, and you will expect certain milestones to happen at specific times in your life. But many, if not most times, life will challenge you to adjust those plans and then adjust them again to fit your circumstances. If how you responded during these past few years is any indication of the choices that you will make and how your actions will shape the future of your communities and our world, I am reassured that we are in good hands. It is said that adversity does not build character, but that instead it reveals it. The strength and resiliency in which each of you faced these challenges not only made all of us proud of you, but also gave us great confidence that the future that you're about to build is going to be a great one. Graduates, I would like to thank you for being a positive force, for looking out for and supporting each other when the times were difficult. Thank you for being the role models for all of us. Milestones like your graduation today give you a chance to reflect. I would challenge you to think about who you are and the person you want to be. Think about the passion that you want to bring to life and what positive effect you want to have on those around you. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I help anyone today? We only rise by lifting others, and you demonstrated this by coming together during these very difficult times, and again, we are all proud of you. Class of 2022, your teachers, family, and friends have faith in you to make a difference. Remember to have faith in yourself, always give your best, and help each other along the way. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments, and especially on your graduation today. Thank you.
On behalf of Marine City High School, we would like to thank members of the East China Board of Education and Mrs. Saibula for being in attendance today as we celebrate this momentous occasion. Also, a special thank you goes to the Mariner teachers and staff who are committed to the success of every student and continue to take personal interest in the students' academic and social development. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the senior class president to the stage, Scott Kretschmar.
Don't take my phone away, yeah. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming. First, I would like to congratulate everyone in the graduation class of 2022. Our class, unlike many others, went through a lot. When the first 3-week break started at the end of sophomore year, I was honestly excited. Coming to school every day felt like a chore that had to be done, even though I was only a sophomore. To my surprise and the rest of our surprise, that break turned into a 5-month break. But again, that urgent excitement that I had for school as a freshman was still gone. The block years that our class experienced last year or our junior year was pretty nice. You got to leave at 12:10, get 2 days to do your homework, and you only have 3 hours a day. However, as junior year ended, it seemed that senior year was starting a little too soon. Only months ago, I was sitting in my room waiting to get the next text for a reminder about schoolwork that had to be done, and I was about to start my final year of high school. A final year of going to class with the same students I had been since I was in 6th grade. A final year of playing the sports that I loved with the friends that I loved and the bonds that I grew up with. A final year to live as a child. As a lot of you may know, I have 2 brothers, so I've been able to attend a couple graduations and a couple sporting events and class events. With complete honesty, I can say that our class is by far the best class that I've seen walk through this high school. Every student sitting in front of you is a leader, hard worker, and even if they don't show it all the time, they're sitting before you today graduating, so that's something. Going to states in multiple sports, having the best band, choir, and drama teams in the area, I am proud to say that I am a Mariner. On top of that, our student section, spirit days, and overall support that we had at every Moraine City High School event was outstanding. Every student here could be up here talking, as every student is great-minded. This couldn't be done, however, without the help of the parents. Thank you to every parent sitting here today and your ability to allow students to grow and learn, and I thank you for that. Staff, Ms. Becker and Mr. Maru, you two are the coolest and most hardworking people that I've ever met. Even though we sometimes don't get support on all things, these two always push to have the best things for our students. Without them, this whole graduation wouldn't be possible, so I thank you. Mrs. Deach and Mrs. Nelson, thank you for being so flexible with me in everything that happened this year. While I know that sometimes I was slow to get things done and we may have had our fair share of arguments, we got it done. We are finally at the end, and I couldn't have had better people to push me through it. Mrs. Stauffer, you have always been the most kind and heart-to-heart person I know. Thank you for always being flexible and not getting upset about the little things, like me purchasing my NHS stool today. And without you, this also wouldn't be possible. My family, thank you guys for all your support. And Max and Jack, without you guys pushing me and putting pressure on me to do better, I wouldn't be here. It was your guys' support and training that allowed me to follow in footsteps and become who I am. Mom and Dad, well, sometimes I was in classes, or pretty much most of the time, that you couldn't help me out with homework. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be a kid and mostly do what I want, but mostly all of the money that you have put into me. From the thousands of dollars you have spent on me for college applications and college prep, to the annoying comments to get my work done, I am so appreciative for you guys. Support is huge in a student's life, and you guys did nothing but support me. And to the class of 2022, thank you all for being great, you and great people. I can honestly say that I've had at least one interaction with all of you that I will remember forever. Every one of you are my friends who I could sit down with and talk to. You're all true to yourselves and kind-hearted, and I thank you for the memories. The bonds that I've created with the class will be for life, and I'm excited to see where everyone ends up in the future, because I know it will be good. Again, thank you to everyone here, and congratulations to the best class, or the class of 2022.
The class of 2022 has 31 students graduating summa cum laude, the highest honor of distinction. Each of these students has maintained a cumulative grade point average of 3.67 or higher through 7 semesters. Representing the summa cum laude graduates for the Mariners class of 2022 is Medell Hubert, who is our top graduating senior. While Medell makes her way to the stage, we would like to recognize the summa cum laude graduates. Will these graduates please stand now to be recognized?
Get your mic where you want it. Make sure you stay close to it, okay?
All right. Is this working?
Get close to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Turn it down. This is where you want it. Where you want it.
No, I want it over here.
Okay.
This is a pretty good photo. Anyway, to all teachers, staff, parents, guests, and graduates, Hello. Now, you were probably expecting someone like me to give you an inspirational and serious speech about pursuing your passion and following your dreams. And I don't blame you. Throughout high school, people always had certain expectations of me. And because of those expectations, I'm sure when some of you heard that I was going to be giving a speech, you decided it was going to be nap time. But for this one moment, I don't want to follow those expectations. I want my speech to be remembered, not as your generic valedictorian speech, but as the Marine City Class of 2022 valedictorian speech. So I thought, how can I make this speech unique? And then immediately after, I remembered that I have zero experience with writing speeches. So I did what every high schooler does when they don't know something, procrastinate doing it. And when I could no longer procrastinate doing it, I searched it up on the internet. And there was one website in particular that said something that I just felt deserved to be mentioned. Don't stress. You've gone through 4 years and earned the highest grades in your class. Clearly, you know a thing or two about writing and delivering a good speech. What? Why else do you think I'm on your website? There's a reason I'm not majoring in English. So after that disaster, I decided to do some of my own thinking until my dad suggested the perfect way to work outside of the box of your ordinary speech. Thanks, Dad. So to do this, I brought a little something here to assist me and wake some of you up a bit. So I present to you the soothing sound of the keyboard. Now, I hope this will make my speech feel a little more three-dimensional instead of just boring you with my voice the entire time. And to those of you in the audience thinking that I'm going to sing, we'll see how much time we have left when I'm done, and I'll think about it. Now, after that unnecessarily lengthy introduction, let's actually begin. Class of 2022, the day that we've been waiting for has finally arrived. And I must say that these 4 years were quite the journey. We experienced our first class, our first practice, our first homecoming, our first prom, our first Mr. B outline. We've also made a lot of memories. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Mr. B running out of class to beat up a snowman outside his window. There was the Mosters, where we saw a passionate performance by Eric Durrett and Preston Codet. When Ty Nelson climbed out of a window during class. Now, I know the last one happened in middle school, but it's just so iconic that it'd be a crime not to mention it. Speaking of middle school, who would have known that Miss McLeod would be able to find the many broken meter sticks that we broke and hid in her classroom? Now, that's enough about school. What about our sports teams? They've accomplished a lot during our time here. The girls and boys track won the lead, and for the girls team, I think it's the first time in, 9 years? The girls basketball team won districts. The baseball team won their league too recently, and some members of the swim and dive team went to regionals and even as far as states. The boys tennis team made the states. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, the football team that made the states and played at Ford Field, a time I'm sure nobody will ever forget. Now, I'm sure the song the band plays for a touchdown goes something like this. Everything was going great. But little did we know that something was fast approaching. Something that would change day-to-day life as we knew it. Something that would flip the entire world on its head. COVID. Now, I'm sure we all remember the last day of school before quarantine. Everyone went around saying, "See you in 3 weeks," excited for the extra break we were given. But then, next school year, we found out we had to do online learning. And we still had to get up early. But despite everything, we were able to get through it. And to the faculty and staff who were able to come up with a way to continue our learning, and the teachers who were able to adapt to this change and teach students through the screen, we thank you. Though I'm sure most of you just went back to sleep after joining those Google Meets anyway. And that brings us to now, moments away from heading into the real world. The only thing stopping us now is me. As you've probably already noticed, this isn't really a short speech, sorry, not sorry. But of course, what would be a graduation speech without leaving a few wise words to my class? And I apologize in advance if this doesn't inspire you like a professional speaker. This is a freebie, and well, you'd get what you pay for. Just because I'm up here for being smart doesn't mean that I'm also wise. I'm only 17. So here's my advice. Don't live a life full of regrets. I know, everybody has regrets, and it's impossible to have none throughout your life. But just think about this for a second. Once we receive our diplomas, the gates to the world will open. Beyond these dates, there are many possibilities for the future. Some of us will continue our studies in college, others will enter the workforce, and some will even serve our country. Whatever path you choose, there will be opportunities, but regrets exist because we don't act on those opportunities. They become a part of your past, and there's nothing you can do about the past. But if you stay holed up, regretting what you missed in the past, you will miss more opportunities in the future. We shouldn't be looking back at our regrets, thinking about what we could have done. We should be learning from them and thinking about what we can do today. There's more to the world than Marine City, Michigan, the United States. So if you have the opportunity to do something, take it. Go out there, try new things, see new sights, meet new people. That's where opportunities lie. You only live once, so enjoy it to the fullest. Tomorrow, you have an opportunity, and it's up to you to act on it. So I guess a better way to say what I'm getting at is, don't live a life full of regrets. Do something now so you have no regrets. Now, I would just like to take a moment to, on behalf of the class of 2022, thank everybody that helped us get where we are today. And hey, it'd be really cool if you could give a round of applause after each mention. Thank you. Teachers, for putting up with us, teaching us what we need to know, and still being here despite losing your mind. Parents, for one, giving birth to us, thanks moms, and two, for raising us and putting up with us more than the teachers do. The rest of the faculty and staff, for doing everything behind the scenes to make this all possible, thank you. The class officers, for... Hang on. Well, I'm sure they did something. I'm just kidding. I know how much work you guys had to do, so thank you. Please don't kill me. Miss Becker, for allowing me to do this kind of speech, and more importantly, letting me take a selfie on stage. It's really fun. And last but not least, graduates, for hopefully not falling asleep, and for making my years here something I'll never forget. We have a couple minutes left, and I kinda already prepared a song for you guys. So I hope you enjoy. It's finally graduation day. It's now time to go. Time to go our separate ways and continue on our own. This feels rather bittersweet, knowing something will end. But there's so much left for us, so don't you dare hold back. Carry on. Give us all strength we need to carry on. So let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as it goes. Whoa, and every road you take will always lead you home. Home. It'll be some long days without you, my friends, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. When I see you again, see you again. Oh, when I see you again. And that's about all I wanted to say. And if you're just now waking up because you just fell asleep and didn't listen to a single thing I said, just remember, this isn't the end. We've only just begun our lives, and it's up to you to decide how you want to live it. Congratulations, everyone, we did it. Thank you for a huge chunk of your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the ceremony. And as Charlie Puth said, I'll see you again. Thank you, thank you. You want me to leave it?
I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Bert Van Dyke, the Director of Choirs for Marine City High School and Middle School, along with the chorale and senior choir members. They will be singing Seasons of Love from Rent.
$525,000
I'd like to thank Mr. Van Dyke and the choir members, along with Mr. Steve Fox, Director of Bands, and his band members for their performances today. I would also like to congratulate Mr. Van Dyke, as he will also be graduating this year with the class of 2022. Thank you for all your years of dedication and for touching the lives of so many students along the way. Medell pretty much summed it up with that incredible performance, and we should probably just do a mic drop and move on after that. But, as I told some of you throughout the year, I get the last word. So I'd like to reflect on what this class has endured to get to this point today, because they have had one heck of a ride through high school. They started the journey at the end of the 8th grade year as they made the walk between the middle school and high school during the official move-up ceremony, entering this gym to a resounding chorus of boos, which is a tradition of the upperclassmen that is bestowed upon the freshmen. Just as this had been done in the class 4 years ago, they were able to pay back the gesture of boos louder than ever for this year's incoming freshman group, who, probably like the class of 2022, didn't know what to think or what they were getting into as they entered the gym. Everybody survived freshman year, juggling new classes with the workload. Most of the students were involved in extracurricular activities. They experienced dances, pep assemblies, made new friends along the way, figured out how to interact with 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, and they got through it. Sophomore year rolls around, everyone is feeling more comfortable in their skin, the coolness factor is starting to show again, and all is good. Everyone is in a good place when, bam, March 13th, 2020 rolls around, and everyone is heading home in good spirits thinking, yes, extended spring break. Students are loving life at this point. 2 weeks pass on the calendar, spring break comes and goes, and our new reality is not quite sinking in as we try to figure out what this COVID thing is all about. We all know what happened after that. We all did this thing called pivot, which took on a whole new meaning for me, since the only time I used the word prior to this was on the basketball court. But here we were, all scrambling to finish the school year somehow, so we made a pivot to virtual learning. Teachers and students alike mastered using Google Classroom, holding Google Meets, learning how to virtually do assignments, all from the comfort of their homes, a lot from their beds. Junior year started out with uncertainty still hovering over us, but we worked together to make the school year happen. It looked a bit different, but we adjusted to black days and orange days. We started by wearing masks. Unfortunately, activities were far from normal as we were limited to the number of people we could have at gatherings, which meant no dances, very few people at sporting events, new ways to showcase performances for choir and band, quarantine, and probably my personal favorite, COVID testing students who participated in extracurricular activities 3 times a week to make sure they were all negative in order to participate in their events. I'll never forget the fun we had doing that. And once again, that imminent word that popped up as we pivoted between face-to-face and virtual learning for stretches throughout the year. Not the best at times, but the students took it all in stride without complaining, and they made it happen. Senior year, trying to get back to normal, but not quite sure what the new normal would look like. We came back face-to-face, which we were fortunate to have had all year. No masks, no limited restrictions at extracurricular events, which means moving back to what we know. Friday football games with the band playing and stands full, drama productions on stage at the PAC, homecoming dance returns, but this year it was under the lights along the river, band competition at the stadium. Things were looking normal, felt normal, but not quite all the way there. Throughout the year, there were many times that seniors, mostly Scotty, Logan, and Josh, would seek me out and ask, hey, Ms. Becker, we have an idea and we would like to do whatever it was they thought up at the time. This is what this class was all about to me, making it happen. And that's what they did. It was the small moments every day that these kids exhibited, from supporting and helping each other to being mentors for the underclassmen, assisting teachers with what they needed, to just being there for each other every day. This is a selfless group of individuals that looks out for others and works together to make things happen. Some of the highlights that Medell already mentioned, boys tennis going to states, football taking the town to Ford Field, drama performing at states again. I could go on with these highlights that everyone is aware of, but for me, it was the little behind-the-scene moments that the public didn't see that these kids did for each other, and that makes them special. One example I would like to share is back in the fall, the last home football game of the season during playoffs. The team at this point should have been focused on the game that night, which determined if they kept playing or were done for the season. At the end of the day, a group of players approached me and wanted to see Bubs walk out of the tunnel for the last time. Bubs just had surgery on his elbow. At this point in the afternoon, I didn't know if he was home from the hospital or not, but this is what his teammates were thinking about. All right, let's make it happen. We have a few hours to pull it off. I call Stephen Ickes down in the office, talk to him. This is what we want to do. This is how we're going to attempt to do it. We'll see what happens. Game time comes around, and I can share that Bubs walked out that last time with a bit of assistance from a golf cart and leaning heavily into Stephen with a giant smile on his face, but they made it happen because it was important to them. Or how about at Moskers, when Ryan Hogard was up on stage singing his original song, and then when Avery Main sang Half of My Hometown, and all the seniors were standing, singing along, and gave a standing ovation for these two. That's how they support each other. Last example, Medell came to me a few weeks ago talking with me about her speech. She asked if it would be okay to play her keyboard during her speech. I have to admit, I was a little taken aback by this question because it wasn't a question I've been asked before. But I said, sure, we'll practice and see how it goes. When she came in this past week to practice, I will admit I was a bit hesitant to see how it was going to unfold, but wow, did she nail it. This group came up with ideas and made them happen. They looked out for each other, supported each other, and I hope those characteristics stay with them as they move beyond Marine City High School. This group that made things happen, and I can't wait to see what they make happen in the future. Seniors, this part is for you. As you tackle the days ahead, there are 4 things I want you to hold on to, which I have shared with previous classes. 1, live in the moment, or in today's technological age, I should probably say look up. You are part of a generation that was practically born with a device in your hand, and don't get me wrong, that device is a wonderful thing that keeps you connected and works in positive ways most of the time. But it is also a distractor to what is going on around you at the moment. I think over the last few years, we have gotten used to being on devices as a way to communicate when we were locked down. It was a way we did school, and it has taken the place of TV and radio as instant entertainment. Take the time to put the device down and embrace what is happening around you, to be in the moment and enjoy what is around you. Everything we do and every person we encounter deserves our full attention. This class chose the song I Lived by One Republic, and to borrow from the lyrics of the song, I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Don't miss out on a moment because you were looking down. Look up and see the places and people around you. Take it in and be thankful for the moments you have, and share the events that you experience, because at the end of it all, you want to be able to say, I lived. Number 2, love what you do. I can honestly say that I love my job. I love what I do. I love coming to this building every day and seeing what unfolds throughout the day, and that is because of you guys, the students that make this place great. I know that you did not love coming to school and doing homework, but I bet there were plenty of moments amongst friends that you wouldn't trade and you will not forget. As you move forward with discovering who you are, figuring out what you want to do, who you want to be, make sure you love what you are doing. It makes life a lot easier and you have a lot more happier days. Don't get me wrong, with anything you do, there are going to be days that you want to walk away and leave it all behind, but if you truly love what you do, you weigh all the positives and go back for more. Number 3, be involved. Life is not meant to be a spectator sport. Get off the sideline and be a part of what is happening around you. Don't be afraid of the unknown and get involved. Through your involvement in various extracurricular activities over the past 4 years, you formed friendships and found yourself doing things you didn't think you could or would ever do. David Coate, the former president and CEO of Honeywell, stated, "Be willing to take a chance, take a risk with something new, career, hobbies, dating, sports, whatever. It doesn't mean you should be impulsive. It does mean that you should take calculated risks. Get yourself into the arena, be a participant and not a spectator. Don't always wait for approval or perfect knowledge. Do something. At the end of the day, you want to be able to say, I lived." And number 4, probably the most important, be thankful. Though we are told not to sweat the small stuff, it is the small stuff we need to be thankful for. Take some time over the next few weeks to thank your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, brother, sister for the multiple times they dropped whatever they were doing to be there for you in some way. Tell mom and dad thanks for attending your events and being the unpaid Uber driver for so many years before Uber was a thing. Let your friends know that you appreciate them for being the person who listens to your craziness and either tells you it's a good idea or, no, I don't think that's going to work out too well. Thank you. 2 simple words that go a long way. The future holds many challenges and successes for all of you. Each of you will have your own unique opportunities and challenges as you move on from Marine City High School. As you go, remember this from Tim McGraw. Chase your dreams, but always know the road that will lead you home again. I can't wait for you to come home and share your story with us about the dreams you conquered. Congratulations go to the class of 2022, and I wish each of you the best as you move on, and I can't wait to hear how you make it happen. Hold on. At this time, we would like to present the diplomas to our graduating seniors. We ask that you please hold your applause and cheers until after the final student has been recognized in order for each family to hear the student's name.
Scott Angus Kretschmar. Joshua Terrence McEwen. Logan Edward Heslop. Mackenzie Ray Laboon. Kirsten Margaret Golan. Medell Coronado Humbert. Ainsley Dale Coleman. Aiden Grant Petz. Isabella Rose Volkman. Nathan Allen DeVlamick. Elena Lynn DeLora. Marissa Lynn Aiken. Carter Colton Ames. Tyler Jacob Arnold. Brian Raydeen Atherton II. Chloe Rose Austin. Lucas Scott Byer. Nicholas Michael Berman. Madison Rebecca Beath. Miranda Allison Beath. Austin Thomas Brady. Michaela Joanne Brost. Skylar Michael Broll. Seth Cruz Brown. Cheyenne Rose Burke. Caden Sincere Campbell. Caden Cattell Chapman. John Theodore Chesser. Ian Zachary Chilcutt. Damian Michael Clemens. Gavin Gerald Robert Collins. Luke Philip Collins. Layla Grace Comment. Cheyenne Savannah Rain Conklin.
Yes, Cheyenne!
Joseph Francis Corbett. Gino Allen Croce. Timothy James DeSnyder. Donovan Paul DiPiazza. Nolan Edward Disselrath. Logan Edward Tristan Drinkwine. Rylan Jacob Dew. Anya Jasmine Dugas. Eric Stephen Durrett. Elaine Doris Durham. Caitlin Mackenzie Eberwine Jones. Elizabeth Jane Ferrone. William James Fisher. Emma Elizabeth Forrest. Emily Shea Fullington. Cameron Earl Geib. Shaylin Audrey Haney. Lauren Brianne Hart. Paige Gabrielle Hart. Angelina Paris Hilton. Jacob Aaron Hincherick. Ryan Michael Hogard. Christina K. Hoover. Jason Paul Huey Jr. Stephen Brandt Ickes. Andrew William Jones. Michael Edmund Karpinski. Stephen Allen Keeley. McLean Alexander Keever. Hunter Anthony Kekwa. Kennedy Eva Maria Keller. Darren Roy King. Preston Douglas Codette. Chloe Jane Kolerick. Ava Elizabeth Korchmar. Joshua Robert Lemieux. Tiffany K. Leonard. Sydney Michelle Lewinsky. Juan Manuel Lozano Ida. Connor Paul Matthews. Avery Marie Main. Alexander James McKay. Carter Andrew McKay. Rachel Gabriella McKenzie. Nathan John Mativia. Connor Brian Miller. Nathan David Miller. Dylan Cameron Messini. Madison Grace Montroy. McKenna Elizabeth Morris. Megan Louise Murphy. Trent Jacob Nelson. Ty Michael Nelson. Haley Ann Novak. Mia Ann Pelagata. Sydney Ann Pajolo. Avery Grace Pauloff. Autumn Nicole Quinn. Cody Albert Randall. Kaylee Elizabeth Rickert. Sean Matthew Rowe. Chloe Ann Ricers. Ava Lee Sedlowski. Jasmine K. Schulte. Caitlin Marie Diane Simons. Matthew James Simons. Tyler J. Simpson. Kyle David Smallstig. Ashlyn Marie Sonnenfeld. Noah Christopher Stevenson. Samuel Curtis Stickle. Lily Elizabeth Teed. Nolan Christopher Thibodeau. Charles William Edward Tigert, Jr. Caleb Sidney Verndell. Jessica Ann Whalens. Aiden Daniel Walker. Wyatt Christopher Walker. Jared Leonard Warner. Grace May White Knight. Ryan Jacob Thomas Wiley. Ben Patrick Williams, Jr. James Walter Woodruff. Tyler Jerome Wozniak. Cora Ann Wright. Daniel Joseph Swing.
Class of 2022, please stand to be recognized and remain standing for the alma mater. Alumni, please feel free to stand with the graduates for the alma mater. I'd like to conclude today with a quote from Jimmy Iovine, who is a record producer and entrepreneur. But before doing so, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Vogler, Mrs. Nelson, all the secretarial staff and the custodial staff for everything they did for organizing and making this event go flawlessly. Thank you. That diploma you hold in your hands today is really just your learner's permit for the rest of the drive through life. Remember, you don't have to be smarter than the next person. All you have to do is be willing to work harder than the next person. Seniors, at this time, please stand. Move your tassels to the left side of your cap. And congratulations, class of 2022.